The New England Patriots entered this game against the Buccaneers flying high, winning 6 straight games, and Drake Maye entering the MVP conversation. In fact, the crowd had MVP chants going off and going crazy. But this was supposed to be a litmus test for them against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another 6-2 team. They went out, win the game 28-23, and looked great in the process. But the biggest thing was that Treveon Henderson had a huge game, 2 huge touchdown runs and 150 yards, and it had Pats fans and Henderson fantasy owners saying, "That's what we've been waiting for." What is up, Patriots fans and NFL fans at large? Welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. Please, if you go to our channel, check out some of our videos. We do new videos every week. All the previews are up so you can see what we got right and got wrong. If you check this out too, we do lives. So we do a live preview of every single game every week. Most of the time I will be there with Tony El Tigre. And something I'm very excited about, we have playlists as well. We do every single game every week with each team from all of your different perspectives. So let's see what we said about the Patriots. I've been high on the Patriots. I got to be honest with you guys. Watching every game and watching Drake Maye play has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and you saw it. We knew that Drake Maye would outduel Baker Mayfield. Even when he struggled, quote unquote, against the Falcons, they won that tough game where we thought they would cook, and they dominated the Browns. So please check out some of these other videos. Now back to the episode. So guys, the reason I'm doing this, right, as we look at the standings and the Patriots are third, part of the reason that I record is to, to differentiate from announcers in the national media where they get some stuff wrong. However, in hubris, I must toot my own horn, pat myself on the back. I saw the Patriots making the playoffs mainly because of the schedule. However, I did not see them going this crazy. 8-2 right now in that 3. I didn't see any 3 of these teams going off like this, to be honest. With the Colts at 18-2, Broncos 18-2, Patriots. Sorry, I'm saying 18, 8-2. You guys know what I mean. 8-2. So all 3 of those teams tied. However, I would think right now, based on the schedules as I know them, that the Patriots have the best shot at getting to that 1 seed because of all those teams. They're the ones that don't play the Chiefs. They've already beaten the Bills, and the Bills just a bad loss for them to Miami. We'll get more into that. But, I mean, maybe because the division's a little bit more at play than it is with the Colts, I guess. But right now, man, I like where the Patriots are. And when we get to their schedule, 7 straight wins, and that schedule is going to have a lot to do with it down the stretch because they haven't been good for years, and you got to play who's in front of you. And right now, when you look at this division, I mean, hey, look, the Dolphins fight. The Jets kind of fought a little bit. Both those teams coming off of wins, so you don't want to kind of pencil them in as wins. But if you're the Patriots fans, I understand why you would. But going against the Bills, right now, 8-2, Bills 6-3. They've already beaten Buffalo, so if they win one more time, automatic tiebreaker. And despite that, even if they were to lose to the Bills now, as long as they handle their business against the Dolphins and the Jets, they would still have more division wins than the Bills because the Bills lost that game to Miami. So right now, that division, they're in a very, very strong spot. And we've mentioned a couple times, let's see how we've gotten here with the Patriots and where we are going. That first game, weird loss to the Raiders. It happens opening day. Then they come back, beat Miami. They lost to Pittsburgh. That game had like five fumbles, I believe. Stevenson had 2 of them. Gibson had 1. Drake had 1. He wasn't absolved. And I think a pick as well. Not great. Not what you want to see. But since then, they locked in against the Panthers, winning that game 42-13. And they haven't looked back, beating the Bills. Now they beat a couple of crappy teams. Saints, Titans, Browns, but you beat who's in front of you. We've seen the Saints beat a team. Last week they just beat the Panthers. So, you know what I mean? You just got to beat who's in front of you. They squeak out that win against Atlanta, who we know Atlanta. I mean, the Colts just beat them in overtime. So Atlanta is just a tough team to deal with. because of how weird they are, I guess. And their pass defense is the best in the league. And the Buccaneers, they go out, beat them 28-23. Next up, Thursday Night Football. You do get the Jets. A little short week. That's the only concern there, but you assume they beat the Jets. And when you look at the schedule, Bengals, good Lord. Now, they can shock you, but they just have no defense. The Giants, we don't even know what coach or quarterback they'll be on by week 13. Bye week before you play the Bills. And the Ravens are a tough game. Bills are a tough game for sure. But then you get Jets, Dolphins to end it. I mean, my gosh, I see them winning 4 of these games easy. Jets, Giants, Dolphins, Jets again. I want to say the Bengals is, a semi-test, but semi-easy. But even there, you have them at 12, possibly 13. If you just split with the Bills and Ravens, you might be looking at 14-3. And with the Colts having to play the Chiefs, and their schedule gets tougher as well. I forget the other teams that they play on that schedule, but their schedule kind of ratchets up. The Broncos have to play the Chargers still and the Chiefs twice. Even if they don't have the tiebreakers over them, I like the Patriots right now as the favorite to get the 1 seed and have home field throughout the playoffs. All right, our favorite segment, comment of the week. We love to hear from you guys. The comment section be jumping. However, from the Patriots fans, we got nothing. Nada, zilch. Trying to think of another word to say. Zero, goose egg. No comments from the Patriots fans. Please come in, shout us out. Patriots fans, normally very loud in the comments. I remember when I predicted Patriots Bills. First time I ever heard it. But they went out. The Bills won where their snow unis, the all whites, and I predicted that the Bills were going to win that game. Didn't know if the Patriots were ready yet. And someone came in the comments. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name. But they came out and they said, you didn't know that the snow melts in May. That's excellent stuff out of you guys, man. We need more stuff like that. So Patriots fans, hop on in there. Don't get complacent just because you're winning some games. Pump your chest, you know what I mean? And tell me what you think of this video. What could be better? What we did good? Let's get it. Now, with the Pats, all year, I think since the kick return in preseason, that's right, Pats fans, I'm locked in. I was scouring the preseason tapes all year, man. I got you guys. But ever since preseason when Treveon Henderson had the kick return touchdown, kind of heard around the world, everyone's like, whoa, this guy is, you know what I mean? Second round draft pick, Ohio, maybe even third. I think it was second, Ohio State. We know how Ohio State won the national championship. They're they're college powerhouse. And so for Treveon Henderson to do that, you're like, all right, we got a guy. Now, throughout the season, they haven't used him. Now, I'm going to explain why I think that is, whether you guys agree, disagree. Again, let me know. But I think that earlier in the year, they didn't quite trust him running inside the tackles. They still don't really love it. And they wanted Stevenson and Gibson, that kind of combination, take the brunt of the hits. Mike Vrabel, physical, wants to go downhill, wants these downhill runners. Part of it, too, I was watching actually, shout out because I like to give credit when I hear some stuff. Colin Cowherd was saying maybe because as a defensive guy, they're more stringent. So Henderson not being a great pass blocker with Drake Maye might have something to do with it. I definitely would consider that as well. And I think you saw it before we get to what he did amazing. One of the struggles was when they got to the 1 yard line, second and goal from the 1. Jennings was in there last week, he's kind of their power guy. And they put Henderson in to try to get that yard. It's just a struggle. He's not the biggest guy. He's more of a speed back, and they ran him up the middle on second goal. Didn't work. Third and goal outside. That one didn't work. And I actually mentioned to my guy Jake, shout out Jake, biggest Pats fan I know in my Premier League. Shout out everyone from Premier is listening. But it's a Madden league for those who don't know. I play Madden. I'm okay. And basically what happened is I was like, yo, we can't run Henderson down there. That's got to be Jennings. It was my only complaint with the end of the half because, Diggs May. We'll get to, obviously, Drake May later. But he was like, chill. I need Treveon Henderson to have confidence. Now, I thought he was joking, and he probably was joking. I sent a laugh emoji. Ha, ha, ha. That's funny. Right at a half, bro. 50-yard touchdown run. Up 14-10. Kind of broke the game open for the Patriots. And, I mean, on that run, my goodness, he looked like a top 5 speed guy in the NFL. Because when you watch, like, a Jonathan Taylor touchdown run, Jonathan Taylor he's not as good as Jonathan Taylor. But when Jonathan Taylor's explosive, from what I've seen, sometimes it's a little more patience. Bijan just looks like a stronger. Treveon was just gone. Like, and the type of speed where you know he's that fast and that they know it because now they've seen it since spring just because we haven't seen it on the football field. But even we knew it. We saw it with the kick return. That's where everyone's like, yo, get Treveon on the ball. He's explosive. When he goes, there's a 50-yard run. About 10 yards in, Drake Maye, hands in the air. About 15, Mac Hollins, who just made the block. Touchdown. This is what that means, touchdown. That means he's gone. And nobody had a shot to catch him. Like, that kind of explosiveness is definitely why people took him in fantasy drafts, why we've wanted him in over Stevenson, who just has been a fumble machine. That's not 6'7". That's him coughing up the football, fumbling it away. He's been a fumble machine all season. Gibson doesn't have that kind of pop. Sadly, Gibson out for the year regardless. This is why people wanted Treveon Henderson up and in there, and my goodness. Boy, did he make a statement with that run. And then not only that run, 21-6. You're looking. You need a drive to kind of end the game. I forget the exact situation. I think it's 2 timeouts left, 2:30, something like that. And they just go Treveon. Under 2 minutes left. I wrote it down. Under 2 minutes left, but 2 timeouts. And they go left side, Henderson, and he just, boom, gone. He's so gone. By the way, this was a 69-yard touchdown. He was so fast. You guys ever watched The Incredibles where, like, Dash, toward the end of the movie, spoiler alert, but toward the end of the movie, he's running track, and he's, like, running, and then he looks over because, like, he's got, super speed, and he's, like, running, and he looks, and they're like, go, 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 and he speeds up, and then he's like, first, like, whoa, wait, calm down, we don't want to show everyone his superpower, so he slows down, ends up at, like, third. Treveon almost looked like that as he's running down the field. He's looking over to Mike Vrabel. He's like, do I score? Do you want me to slide? Touchdown. That play in among itself, by the way, the fact that Treveon, we've seen guys, Adonai Mitchell, plenty, DeMarcano, fumble the ball in the end zone, have lack of awareness when breaking off on those big plays. To me, Vrabel gets credit. If your guy is breaking off for a huge touchdown in his first game of ever doing it, on his way to his second touchdown, if he has so much trust in what you're doing, and the record has something to do with it, but Vrabel, I mean, we're not far removed from him being in the NFL. We're also not far removed from him making the Titans a good team. So no matter where you really want to go, that respect level is there for him as a coach, as a former player. We're not far removed from him being bloodied up in training camp, breaking up a fight. Like, Vrabel is that guy, and the team has so much respect for him that for him to look back and be like, do you want me to score here or not, and not just forget it in the moment and score a free touchdown. And then Vrabel and whatever on the sideline just being like, go, go, go. And then Drake Maye, also thinking about winning the game, is way behind the play yelling, get down, get down. I mean, and obviously the team was like, you know what, score a touchdown. Now, it almost, shout out Stephon Diggs for one of the craziest onside kick catches I've ever seen. Like, it bounced. He had to jump to catch it. It was in the air forever. He took a crazy hit. His biggest catch of the game, really. He had some other big ones. I mean, Diggs was going crazy. They all were. They normally do. It's just what happens now with this team this year. But he caught that and ends up ending the game, so that decision didn't hurt them. But that was just a real cool moment. And Henderson, 14 rushes. Still, again, I'm telling you guys, I think they're really trying to preserve him for the rest of the season just because of his running style, how he is. They don't want him to be the in-between the tackles guy all the time. However, on that first touchdown run, it was in between the tackles, so they might just be like, screw it. Sorry, Mom. Fuck it. At this point, give him the ball. He's that good. But 14 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's an insane game. And the 2 50-yard plus touchdown runs, that adds an element to this Patriots offense that has not been there the entire season. And actually, because I love to get you guys the truth and the real numbers on these, I believe they're past their running offense. I was actually thinking during the game at those points, I'm like, man, can we get Drake Maye like some running offense here? Like down the goal line, they couldn't punch it in. And I'm just thinking, like, where's the offensive, like, where's the running game coming from? Now, and again, I remember actually looking up, because I looked it up during the game. I was a little shocked. They're actually 17th in rushing. And that shows a commitment to the run, because early in their year, they were, I want to say 25th, 24th. They were really down there. Now they're at 17th. And again, that's before these recorded numbers. So when you add in, they average, to give you guys an example, they average 112 a game. This game, Henderson himself had 147. And a reason that running attack too, I kind of view it a little different. Drake Maye runs the ball all the time, so he has a lot to do. Whereas a lot of other quarterbacks don't even run. For instance, give an example. At 18th, you have the Rams in there at 111. The Packers, he runs more than Drake Maye, are sit there at 16th. Atlanta's 116. You know what I mean? And the Giants, who run their quarterback all the time, they're at 14th. So that was kind of the company they kept. Over there, Eagles actually 19th, Arizona 20th. Just to give you some examples. Houston, who I don't think can run the ball at all, 21st. So they had been working on it. They've been improving it. They've been trying to run the ball. But now Henderson being able to break off of that huge touchdown run, big. Defensively, because, again, shout out Jake. I'm watching the game with them. That defense, man, I mean, they were flying out there. The fact that heading into this game, the whole world jinxed it, but it was such a crazy stat. They hadn't allowed an individual runner to get 50 yards until this game. Sean Tucker ends up with 53. But we're 9 games into the season. They had played James Cook. They had played Bijan Robinson already. They hadn't allowed those guys. They played A-Chain. We saw A-Chain cook the Bills. They didn't allow any of those guys to get 50. I'm not talking 75 or 100. 50 rushing yards up till this point. And I think some of that reputation, now they did let up 112 today, 5 yards a carry, but defensively stopping these passes huge. Gonzalez, I know he only had 1 deflection in this game. He was all over Ibuka on huge plays. Remember a couple third downs, they were trying to go to Ibuka, and Gonzalez was right there, and Baker had to, in the fear of, you know what I mean, throwing a pick, he just had to throw it a little bit too far ahead of him, a little around Ibuka because he didn't want to turn the ball over. But they're just getting huge stops, specifically 21-16, Bucs driving, and you're thinking, after the Drake Maye pick, you're thinking, oh, man, they might go down, score this touchdown. They stop them on third down, and then 4th and 3, they just sent it all out here. Great time to dial up a blitz. Perfect call. They get the sack, and then the play was the play with Henderson. But that defense, they play with so much speed, so much aggressiveness. There's a play where Kazan, he's just fast at the end. He's still working on, I think, the first move, but just his consistent energy. There's a play where Baker was trying to run around, and he just tracked them down. Like they didn't let Baker really create outside of the pocket in this game, and that was huge. And Drake Maye, now we got to be honest, he had a terrible pick, 21-16, because I'm yelling about him in the group chat. I'm like, this guy's the MVP. Sorry, screw what you heard. I'm gonna refrain from cussing. Mom told me not to cuss, so I'm gonna try to calm it down a little bit. Screw what you heard. I am that guy, and I'm thinking Drake Maye's that guy, man. He's just hitting crazy passes, and we'll get to some of them. However, the interception up 21-16. It's funny. Right before it happened, you saw Vrabel say, "Yo, we're up 5." Him kind of go like this, like, calm down, Drake. A touchdown would be great, but I know you love making plays. We don't need it. He went out there, awful interception, rolling to the right, nothing really open. He just wanted to kind of end the game, which again, the Patriots at that point, they had been up 21-16 for a while. This is in the fourth quarter, and he just made a terrible decision. But the dude got Matt Collins 106 yards, and I mean, threw a perfect bomb to get them down there. The play, now this was an interesting moment because they kind of didn't try on 1st and goal. They wanted to run the clock, make sure Tampa Bay didn't have any time. Then they ended up with a 4th and goal, and the play, this might actually be Diggs' best catch of the game, but they just run it out. He throws it up. Good throw. I wouldn't say great, but good throw. And Diggs just made an absolutely phenomenal play. Just the jump 2 feet in, because I would have been 4th and goal and they would have ended with no points. Then that's why you get Stephon Diggs. And he made that huge touchdown. And Drake Maye as well. I mean, that throw to Kyle. Now, Kyle Williams did obviously the work, just has pure speed. And that's what we saw a lot of this game. Their athleticism unleashed that we were wondering if the Patriots had. But that throw to Williams, bro, and some of these throws, 3rd and 10s. There's a 3rd and 7 all-out blitz. Hike, shotgun, scream. He just looks at it, throw it over the middle. And that 3rd down play, he's getting screamed at again. Throws it over the top of an outstretching arm. I'm telling this throw, I see so many. There's not a lot of guys who are hitting that throw, and giving Kyle Williams the ability to catch it soft in his hands, and then because he's going sideways, like he wasn't really running like any up breaking. It was kind of like a sideways route that he's able to catch and then turn up the field for 72 yards. Now, he made a great play catching it, going 72 yards, only catch of the game, only when he needed, just an explosive play. But Drake Maye was out here yet again throwing dots. It's what he does. And, I mean, how many more times, guys, do we need to see it? Now, I think he's personally up there in the MVP race. Stafford has been going insane at this point. I think Stafford has like 25 passing touchdowns and like 3 picks or something stupid like that. I personally, I think Hurts is up there too, but Drake Maye's up there with anyone else because look at that. I mean, Jonathan Taylor might be up there with him as well. But you look at it and it's like he's now outplayed Josh Allen. He's 8-2, and he outplayed Baker Mayfield. Now in this game again, not perfect. Gotta be fair. He did miss 15 passes, although I just 3 of them early in the rain. Everyone was like, hey, I'm curious, can this guy throw in the rain? I guess we'll see. He's gonna play in a lot more weather going forward. I thought because the rain did kind of disappear, and Romo brought up as a case, so we'll see as the season goes on. A little inaccurate early, but once he got rolling in that little stretch, he really was rolling, dealing with a lot of pressure and a lot of blitzes, and just the passes he makes. I mean, he only hit 16 passes, right? But he did it for 270 and 2 touchdowns, and Kyle Williams accounted for 70 of those, but he's throwing bombs. Again, that throw to Matt Collins where he did throw a pick after, that's 54 yards. I think their offense is in a really good flow right now. And defensively, they just hoop, man. They go out there, they hoop, they make plays. Spillane has been really good for them. Obviously, we know what Gonzalez is. So, really interested to see this team. Very excited for the Pats. And, I mean, man, Thursday night against the Jets, we'll see if the Jets have anything for them. But right now, you'd have to say the Patriots are entering that elite category in the AFC and the NFL. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.